Well, the weird world weather has hit the Big Island. I don't know. I think they were heading towards an El Nino and then maybe a La Nina, and then they threw it in neutral. We got a neuter Nina. This is a nothing. There's absolutely nothing going on out here in the Middle Pacific at all. I mean, it's doldrums. It's dead. Something was people who visit here on vacation and so on are really not aware of. Hawaii is such an anomaly with weather at this latitude because this is a dry latitude. This is the Sahara Desert. This is North Africa. Okay, yeah. This is the Sonora. This is Sinaloa and so on. These are some of the planet's major deserts that exist in both North America and in the African continent. The latitude line of 1920, we're 19, runs right along that. So we're right along with the Sahara, and the only reason that we have weather out here is because we have thousands of miles of water between us and the American mainland and the trade winds blow from the east to the west at this latitude, picking up moisture from the ocean and forming clouds that then hit our mountains, which are, almost 14,000 feet high. That's reactive. Yeah, the clouds will release their water as they climb the mountains. That's usually what happens. There was a time, I remember, in the last 20 years here where what we spoke of as trade winds were the prevailing weather pattern in the Hilo area. We would probably rain almost all night. It was typical. As the air cooled, the water would fall from the sky, and then in the morning, it'd usually dry out, the sun had come up, we got the farmer's market and all that, but then somewhere in the mid-afternoon, as things started heating again, clouds would rise up, and then we'd get a little bit of showers start to form. That was a typical pattern that happened almost every day. Yeah, it was so typical, especially in the warmer seasons of the year here. That was very, very typical. Well, it doesn't even hardly happen anymore. That's how much the weather has actually changed. Now, if you're in Kansas City, you may not have noticed any of this, okay? But, Hawaii's kind of a canary in a coal mine as far as all that's concerned. We're in a very touchy and very unstable situation here on the 20th latitude, dry latitude, but yet we get lots of rain. Okay, that's touchy, and we're seeing it. Look at this. That is the Puna sky at the moment. And that has been the Puna sky for days and days and days. There's been nothing up there. Little wispy clouds move through. Little tiny clouds might move through or something on that order, but nothing that bears rain. The amount of rain in the last several weeks has been extremely minimal, only in hundredths of an inch, tiny little showers that happen occasionally. Right now, looking forward in the forecast from the weather people, we're talking 11 days before we have any significant system that might move through here, and then it's only a 70-some% chance, actually. Okay, so here I am. This is Puna. This is not Kona. All right, this is not Kona, but the wet side has become the dry side, and I hate like heck to think what happens on the dry side these days if you bear in mind Lahaina's fires and all that. And, anyhow, stupidity of blaming each other for the weather is about as ultimate as dumbass stuff gets. Yep. It has changed, and it has changed big time. Now, it depends on how you look at it. It really did kind of rain a little bit too much over here. Yeah, we got more water than we ever really needed. On the other hand, water is essential for life. And, most of Hawaii over here doesn't have any, county plumbing. People who live over here, they catch rainwater to drink. And when the rain stops, it's a reality check. West side of the island is far drier than the east side. The east side is becoming dry enough lately that people have trouble catching water to drink and shower. The west side, I don't know what they're going to do. That's really dry over there. I hope that we're not going to start to see Lahaina-like situations occur. This can happen. It could happen here too. We've had some wildfires. The west is very good for wildfires here. Well, as far as the Puna side's concerned, I had some folks here. They were from the mainland recently, California. And of course, like most tourists, they have the hot skinny on what goes on over here. You want to come on over here on vacation, you do not come to Hilo. Hilo rains constantly. There's never any sunshine. It's a miserable place to be. Kona's the place to be. And I'm happy for it, frankly. I really do like the fact that the tourists all go over there because they create terrible traffic jams. It's crowded. Everything is more expensive on the Kona side of the island because of that factor. And they get all the fog. See, wind prevailing from east to west. Right now, Kilauea's been erupting. All the sulfur dioxide and junk that comes out of that volcano goes that way. It doesn't come this way. We have clear blue sky, see. Although lately things have been so still, I do believe we've been forming some sort of an inversion over the top of the island. That's rare. I have seen it. It has happened, but inversions here don't happen much because there's usually a lot of motion, Well, I think that's what's happening, and I think a lot of the gas from the volcano has been getting trapped at relatively low elevations. I can see the line in the sky as the sun sets. Above the line, it looks like a Kona sunset. Below the line, it looks like Hilo. It's blue. Above that, it's all haze. I think most of the volcanic gas is actually sitting above a layer that we're underneath it over here at the moment. At the moment, it's not here at all. There's nothing up there. It's blown west. If it's happening at all, I didn't look at the volcano this morning. I don't know. But I know the last several days, Mauna Loa is right over here at the end of the road. I go to the post office there. Mauna Kea. I'm staring at Mauna Kea, And ordinarily, Mauna Kea is either mostly visible, clear, or partially visible, covered in clouds, maybe. That happens a lot. We get clouds there, but good fluffy type clouds, large clouds. Not in the last few days. The last few days, I've never seen Mauna Kea like this. The mountain is there. You can roughly make out the silhouette of the image, but it's all haze. Yes, everything's been haze. Haze is not a normal thing here. And not being able to really clearly make out the details in our mountains due to the amount of haze, that's pretty rare. I can't actually see that I've ever seen it before. That's probably, I've never seen this. Yeah, that the mountain was too hazy to be seen. Well, yeah, there you go, folks. It looks like if this continues, that Puna's might become the dry side of the island because I'm going to have to water here again today. Yeah. And Kona is going to become the desert. It's already fairly dry, but it's going to become a desert. One of the problems we got over here, people talk about, 150 inches of rain a year. That's a lot of water. Well, soil here drains like sand. Most of it. Yeah. Rain goes down through this island like it wasn't even here. And so let's say if you're on a clay loam soil in California and you're getting 16 inches of rain a year, it might be enough to grow some decent crops, at least half a year in it during the rainy season. Here, forget it, 16 inches a year, you couldn't even grow a cactus on this stuff. Yeah, you probably need pretty close to about 80 inches of rain a year, I think, on most of these soils in order to be able to grow common plants well. Especially things like garden vegetables. I do pretty well with garden vegetables at 120 inches a year on the soil. I have other problems with them, but they're mostly pests. It's not so much from the rain. sometimes rain gets hard enough on occasion that it'll pulverize my lettuce leaves. That happens. Yeah. Oh well. There you go, folks. Gracie took off. I thought she was going to be here with me for the video, but she says, Bill's busy. Hang loose. Aloha.